Good morning, everybody. And before the day starts, I wanted to get into day 20 here of Happiness 2020. And for the last 10 or so days of the month, we're going to talk about, well, when there aren't questions or when I'm not answering questions, I'm going to be preparing you for your day. Okay. Most of us look at social media, and I saw something on LinkedIn that I thought would be useful, not useful, but something that needs to be approached, needed to be talked about. I don't know. I don't hear many people talking about it. Needs to be talked about, and that is this graphic that you see here. It's about fixed mindset versus growth mindset. It's one of those inspirational things you see all the time on social media telling you this is the mindset you need to have this year. And as I was reading this, right, I'm a cynical person by nature actually, and so I was reading it thinking to myself, okay, that's okay, but most of the time people are posting things for themselves, right? They post it for themselves. They need it, right? Or they think the people in their lives need it, and they post it. But reading this, and it talks about things like, a fixed mindset about desires, skills, effort, these type of things. Reading each one, I said to myself, if someone doesn't think, right, they're in a rut, if someone doesn't think that they're making mistakes, if someone thinks that the mistakes or the failures in their life are someone else's problem or someone else's fault, right? They're not going to look at this and think about growth or fixed mindset. It's not going to happen, right? It's and even people who are growing or people who might be open to change and things of that nature, looking at these things, if you don't know what it is, like if I described a couple of days back about being really browbeaten from your day. The whole day has hijacked you. You've lived a life for 24 hours that's not focused on making yourself better, but just to, responding to the problems that life throws at you. You may not necessarily realize that you have a challenge, you're in a rut, or you may be lost. You don't know who you are or where you're trying to go. And if you're not sure where you're trying to go, this type of thing doesn't really help, because let's look at it. First of all, it says desires, right? Desires. Okay, let's say I've had a bad day and I'm kicking the dog when I get home. It says I'll stick to what I know, right? Versus I want to learn new things. At the end of the day, are you thinking about, I need to learn a new thing so I'm not dealing with this problem? What you're usually thinking about is what happened today? How will it not happen tomorrow? You're not really thinking about what new thing do I need to learn so that I'm not put upon by the world, right? However, if you take the approach, or if you've listened to this series and you say, okay, I know who I am. I know what makes me happy and what fulfills me. Now, what do I need to learn to get there? What do I need to do, read, or see to get there? So, again, these cliches you see, these inspirational messages that are on online, one can be completely useless to you if you're lost, if you don't know clearly what it is you're trying to do, who you are. Right? At the same time, it's also going to be something that it's going to fall on deaf ears for a lot of people, because they just don't see the need, so to speak. But those people, unfortunately, they won't read it. But I'm talking about those of us who are open, want to be successful in life, right? And we pass through all of these things we see on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever, because they're just not, we don't find them to be particularly useful, or we just don't, it just doesn't speak to us. But if you are you're thinking about, hey, you know what? I'm trying to get to point X, then this might be useful to you. Let's talk about the next one, skills. I'm fine the way it is, right? Is this really my best work, right? What else can I improve? Let's be honest. If you don't have an audience, you haven't found the right audience and you're working on something, how do you know you need to improve? You don't know. For instance, if you're an artist, or I've done things, I'll give you an example. I've created things and wanted to get feedback. And I've asked people whom I know very well to give me feedback. And these people, I'll give you an example. I've asked my wife to give me feedback, or my ex-wife to give me feedback, or my friends, close friends to give me feedback, but they're not the audience for what I'm doing, right? I listen to their feedback because, one, it's loving, caring feedback. Hey, you know what? We all want some of that, but that's not the audience. Those people aren't my potential clients and things that they live with me. They hear this stuff all the time. But people who've never heard this before, people who look at my face and go, "Who's that weirdo?" without hearing anything. The people that I need to reach, the people who are lost, who may need the advice I provide. Again, if I don't know and then accept, one, who I am, and two, what is the audience where my talents and skills are needed, then this will also not really lead me anywhere. Did I do my best work? Well, I did my best work. My wife says it's good. My kids say it's good. My friends say it's good. The market says it's not. The market's an idiot. No. How are you going to know if it's your best work? How do you know if you need to improve? It all starts with knowing who you are and ascertaining who is my potential, whose problems can I solve, so to speak, right? And then we go into effort, setbacks, feedback, talented peers. Let me do the first half, and then to make this video shorter, I'll talk about the following three tomorrow. But effort, right? This is a waste of time. There's a lot to figure out. I know this will help me, even though it is difficult. Okay. Again, these assume you're doing something, right? That you're doing something you believe in, you do something that you're committed to. Because if you're not committed to something, let's say, or you're not sure who you are. For instance, you're working your job, and say the job's a dead-end job, meaning it's not you. It's something you're never going to be exceptional at. It's never going to be something you're going to get the claim and appraisal that you wish to have. But you're so incredibly tired, so incredibly busy, and so incredibly caught up in the day-to-day, you don't realize you're wasting your time. Again, knowing who you are, knowing the right audience, and working towards that, you start to clearly see, oh, this is a waste of time. This isn't getting me ahead. It's not until you break down doing the wrong job for too long that you come to realize this is a waste of time. Or that this will help me. Help you what? It'll help me have a heart attack, help me have high blood pressure if you're doing the wrong thing, but can help you strengthen your skills if it's the right thing. Now, I have a friend, a gifted artist, in my opinion, frankly. And if he were to do art and post his art and sell his art, I would be buying his art. Not only would I be buying his art, I would be advising everyone I know to buy his art. It's exceptional, right? But the person focuses too much on what will make them rich, what they think will make them popular, or looking at what their skills and talents and looking at the consistent failures they've had in certain realms, you're like, why are you focusing on something that produces so little when you love something else? It is something that, it doesn't have the cloud of your friends you see in corporate making you the big money, but he would make more money than me if he were to sell his art, because I would definitely buy most of it. I have a piece of his actually that I keep very close to me. It's in my other room. I haven't framed it yet, but I wish to. But that's just one of the things I see. And until that person realizes what's going to make them successful, and what they're talented and gifted at, and that there's an audience out there that wants what they can provide, they're never going to find the success they want. They'll always be chasing something that they believe the world has told them they need. And that's reality. I can't change that person. I can't change them. I can only focus on me and try to focus on people who want help. But I digress. When you see these inspirational things, or you're thinking of posting them, post them in a context. Post them in a context because to take advantage of any advice, anything, a person needs to understand who they are, what they are, where they wish to go. And if you're posting these things on social media, and if you're posting them to help, then it shouldn't be a problem for you to put context in there, because help carry us out, of the swamp and reach the mountaintop. With that, I'll let you go. Tomorrow I'll focus on the next three if you want me to. And it's all the same though, to be honest. It's about just knowing who you are, your audience, and finding those opportunities. If you have any other questions, as always, reach out to me, and I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow as we go through 2020. January, every day, I'm providing some advice and support on how to make 2020 a happiness year for you. Take care. Bye.